Gentlemen, welcome here to halftime of tonight's contest. We've got our Cyclone Touchdown Club player spotlight. It's number 7, junior Zeth Mullins. Zeth, we appreciate it. You're one of the last Mullins clan to come through this high school, followed your two brothers. But the difference is you don't play with your hand on the ground. You're meaner than they are, but you don't play with your hand on the ground. Last week's game, it seemed like every second or third play, Stacy and I was commenting about either your effort fighting through the block or making the tackle. What did you see on film last week that you knew that you could beat them to the inside, or you could get around, run the hoop on the outside blocks?
Well, I know that I'm not the biggest on the field, so I got to use my speed to get around the block. So when I was watching on film, I could see that the wide receiver was a lot bigger than me, so I had to find a way to get around him. So that was my way to do it.
Now, growing up, you never played linebacker. You was always safety and running back.
So
How do you feel playing outside linebacker?
it's different because I'm more in the run game now. I used to only be pass, stay deep, and now I'm down there with the bigger dudes, so I just got to play harder.
Whose decision was it to convert you to the outside linebacker? Was it something that you looked about that you wanted to do? Is it something Coach Whitten come to you, Coach Campbell? Who was it that started this, put the thought in your head?
I think it's Coach Grindstaff, my freshman year.
Oh, Grindstaff.
Yeah.
I didn't expect him to say it, but
Yeah.
I'm glad he did, because watching you play, watching your motor run with you on this outside and Eli on the other outside, it's got to force everything into Holzer and Shankles, and we love to see it.
Let's talk about this a little bit. Tony's right. The last 3 weeks, we're calling your name, as he said, sometimes every single play for your hustle. What's your key on those angles? You have some of the best angles of a linebacker that I've seen in a long time. It looks like the guy's going to get around the side, and there you are, and you're making the stop. What's the key to your angles on that?
I just got to do it. I really
Okay.
don't know. I just do it.
You must be like your daddy, good math, so you
Yeah.
can see the angle. One other thing too, you talk about your size. When I see you make tackles, I've never seen you make a tackle above the waist. Sometimes you're diving because you're getting there to put them on the ground. Is that something you work on, or is that just where you end up?
It's mostly just where I end up, and it's just the easiest way to take someone down is go for the legs.
They can't move without those legs.
Yeah.
Can they? We talked to the seniors about this some, and thank goodness you're back for another year. But we wanted to talk to you this week because what an outstanding job you did last week. As you come in tonight, Friday night, to face Anderson County, what do you expect to see from them?
I expect them to throw. I expect them to come out throwing a lot because they picked us apart last game. We stopped their run game pretty well, and they attacked the middle of the field a lot, so we're going to try to shut down that. And everything else, like, we're just going to go play.
At that outside linebacker, you are involved in the run game, but you also have zone coverage on most plays. What is your role in that pass game now? We've seen a little bit. You faced a big-time quarterback last week. You're going to face an even bigger-time one this week. What do you think? Does the fact that you used to play safety help you with that outside linebacker?
Yeah, because I'm really good at reading the quarterback's eyes. So when I'm doing my job, I kind of keep an eye on the quarterback. And in high school, you can really tell where they're throwing it with their eyes. And I kind of feel the receiver where they're at behind me, and I just feel the field, really.
You got that safety coming out in you, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think the difference in this team is from week 5 when we went down there to play Anderson County, and here you are in the second round of the playoffs against an undefeated team? What's the difference in your team this offense?
Our offense stepped up a lot these past few weeks, and with our offense moving now, that means our defense gets a break on the field. So with the defense getting a break, I feel like it's going to be a different game this time coming around.
Zeth, thank you very much. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for our halftime version of the Cyclone Touchdown Club Player Spotlight. We thank number 7, Zeth Mullins, for joining us tonight, and we do express our appreciation for just his hustle and grit and determination these last few weeks, and we know he'll lay it on the field tonight. We're going to go back to the station from these words from our sponsors. When we return, Tony and I will have your second half from Anderson County as your Elizabethton Cyclones face the Anderson County Mavericks.